What's up, everybody? It's Adrian, and I'm back. Now it's Monday, which means yesterday was NFL Sunday. Now I'm here to talk about my week two reactions from week two of NFL Sunday. But with that said, after every Sunday, I like to take a day, half a day to sit there and reflect about the day because we all know our emotions get the best of us when it comes to games and we react right on the spot, just like that with the flick of a finger. But after digesting and having some thoughts about the games, I've got to give my takes on yesterday because some of the games crazy. I was not happy with my Steelers. As we all know, I'm a huge Steelers fan, but I'm not going to be biased in that, so I had to let my emotions get out of the way. But we had some great games on yesterday, and I'm going to start with the first game that I'm coming to my mind is Carolina and Atlanta. Now, we all know Devontae Freeman did not play yesterday, but that did not stop Atlanta from running up and down the field on Carolina. Now, Tevin Coleman rushed for 100 yards, and that was the first guy to rush for 100 yards in almost 2 years against Carolina, who has arguably the best front seven in the league, hands down. Now, they finally figured the red zone woes out, going 4 for 4 in the red zone finally, which they did not do a good job of week one against Philadelphia. Now, Matt Ryan had 2 rushing touchdowns, which caught me by surprise, but Carolina just could not stop Atlanta yesterday. Cam finally threw for 300 yards, over 300 yards. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I'm a huge fan, always been since his days at Auburn. But with that said, that loss dropped Carolina to 1-1 and got Atlanta a huge win. So it puts them at 1-1, a big divisional win. Now let's go to the other game I was talking about. My team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, what a rough game yesterday. What a rough game from my boys. I'm not gonna be biased, as we all know. We got the drama going on with Le'Veon, the contract situation is holdout. Big Ben Antonio was pretty upset yesterday with the way things were going. But here's my take. Big Ben threw for over 400 yards. He had a hell of a game. But the problem is this defense. This defense looks lackluster, not flying to the ball, not playing with any energy, playing sloppy, not even getting a jam on the receiver at the line of scrimmage, man. Come on, boys. Gotta play better. But the takeaway that I took away from this game yesterday, that the Chiefs are dangerous. That's the first time they beat us at our place in over 20 years. But this guy, Patrick Mahomes, he threw six touchdowns on us yesterday. He torched our defense. Now, through the first 2 games of the NFL season, he set an NFL record for most touchdown passes, with the most touchdown passes in his first 2 starts. Now, this kid's just turned 23 years old today, but he so far so good for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have weapons all over the place, from the cheetah Tyreek Hill to Travis Kelce to Kareem Hunt, and keep going on and on. The defense is lackluster, but if Patrick Mahomes is playing like this, it's gonna be hard to beat them boys. Now, my Steelers need to get a reality check. Now they're 0-1-1 with that tie they had from Cleveland in week 1. But things have got to change down in Pittsburgh, man. Next week, week 3 against Tampa is going to be a huge game on Monday night, so they need to show themselves. Now, let's go to another big game today, the Jacksonville Jaguars against the New England Patriots in a rematch from the AFC Championship from last year. The Jaguars played excellent, especially Blake Bortles. He threw for 4 touchdowns, he threw an interception, but they were ultimately aggressive against New England. They didn't let their foot off the gas, and they kept pounding and pounding and pounding. I was surprised to see Blake Bortles. That's probably the best I've ever seen him play. Decisive, knowing what he was doing with the ball, playing great. The defense played good as well, got to Tom Brady multitude of times. The New England was just flustered, and it came out flat, and that was over, and the Jags just stomped on their throat and kept it going. Now, can Blake Bortles keep that up? I don't know. Like I've always said, I don't have faith in Blake Bortles, but if he plays like that, Jacksonville's can be in the Super Bowl this year, you know. So it just spells trouble for a lot of teams in the AFC. So I think the AFC is a lot better than people give it credit for, but it's not as good as the NFC. But New England will be back. They're playing Detroit Lions next week on Sunday Night Football, which they will destroy the Detroit Lions, which we know they're a mess right now. So anyways, now let's go down to another game I watched yesterday. That was the Eagles and the Bucks. Now, the Bucks are 2-0. They are my biggest surprise this year. I know we've been saying for the last couple years that they're finally supposed to make the noise and bounce back with the offensive weapons that they have. But they have Ryan Fitzpatrick, and now everybody's calling him Fitzmagic because, as we all know, he's filling in for Jameis Winston, who was suspended for the first 3 games of the season. Now, if you ask me, I wouldn't bring back Jameis Winston just quite yet after a suspension if Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing good still, because that kills the momentum of the team. But ultimately, Fitzpatrick is what he is. He's a backup quarterback. That's why teams gave him a shot to pay the big money. But he ultimately can only do it in short stretches. Now, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Tampa Bay team. Ultimately aggressive. D-Jack is out there balling. O.J. Howard finally showing his value as a first-round pick from last year. Got Chris Godwin. You also got a stud in Mike Evans, a Pro Bowl player. The offense is loaded. The defenses play a lot better than last year. They ranked last in pass defense. Now they're bouncing back and they're making some noise. 2-0 by far is the biggest surprise for me. Now, will they keep Fitzpatrick after James returns? I don't know, because this Tampa team is looking like a team on a mission to start this season now. But we'll see once teams get taped and ultimately what they'll do against them. Now, for the Eagles' sake, I think the Eagles will be good, because breaking news, they just announced about an hour ago that Carson Wentz is cleared to play Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I didn't think he would be back this soon. Maybe he was reactionary, but hey, Doug Peterson knows what he's doing. They're fresh off a Super Bowl. 1-1 is still early in the season, but I think Philadelphia is doing the right thing. Let's get Wentz back in that thing. Now let's jump to one of the best games I watched that went to overtime, actually finished in a tie, and that was the Vikings and the Packers. Now there was a late penalty in that game on Clay Matthews on a roughing the passer play. With this protecting the quarterback thing is a controversy, but I think it's a good thing because we all don't want to see backup quarterbacks in the game. We want to see starting quarterbacks in the game. And now that's why Minnesota brought Kirk Cousins to Minnesota to prove that he can play. Now, he balled him and played along great with Aaron Rodgers. And the thing is, Minnesota can't stop Aaron Rodgers when he's healthy, when he's hurt. So imagine what he's going to do to them when he's healthy. But Kirk Cousins showed me his worth. And you see what happened in Washington yesterday with Dink and Dunk, Alex Smith, who didn't get the job done. So I think Kirk Cousins was a good pickup, and this game is going to prove vitally. But once again, I'm going to say it. The kickers destroyed it, missing a pair of field goals each in overtime. They ultimately finished at a tie 29-29. But these teams will be back, and I think these are the two front runners in the NFC North, hands down. And that next time they meet in Minnesota will be a pivotal game to see who's going to win that division. Now, I'm going to go to the Sunday night game from last night, which was the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most overrated teams in the league, and the New York Giants. Now, when I watched this game, I seen two mediocre teams play last night. Now, I don't know why. As good as Saquon Barkley is, the Giants aren't a running back away from winning the championship or contending for a Super Bowl. They've got OBJ, they've got Ingram, but Eli Manning is washed up, and they should have took a quarterback, Sam Darnold, in my opinion. But hey, I know the Giants are going to do it. It's going to be a really long season for them at this rate. The offensive line's in flux. They lost another guy last night. Eric Flowers is garbage. He is garbage. He cannot block a soul yesterday. Eli Manning looks like a statue out there. He just looks scared, and they don't know what they're doing. Now, I know it was 20-13, but that game was not as close as the score indicates. They got a late garbage touchdown. Whew, the Giants will be on a long season, but I do love Saquon Barkley. Now, on the Cowboys side, once again, the Cowboys are not explosive. They had one big play, that 64-yard touchdown pass from Dak to Tavon Austin for 64 yards. Now, they don't have any explosive weapons or any elite offensive player. Deontay Thompson did a little bit. Michael Gallup, the rookie. Cole Beasley. Now, they need a tight end because their tight ends are garbage. Zeke didn't really get any push at the line, even though he scored a touchdown to seal the game late. Cowboys are a mediocre team, and they won't be winning this division. Neither will the Giants. They'll finish out of the playoff race. Now, they need, like I said, once again, to get some offensive weapons. But I will say that their defense is solid. And Dak Prescott, how can you beat NFL teams for throwing for 160? Teams are just going to stack the box against Zeke and make Dak beat them. But I don't see that happening. I see Dallas finishing. I had them way higher, 9-7 maybe, 10-6 earlier in my predictions a few months ago. But now I got to say they're looking like a 7-9, 8-8 football team at best with the stacked NFC, who are all NFC teams. Now let's move on to another game that I caught, and that is the New Orleans Saints taking on the Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland came so close yesterday to win. They should have won this game yesterday. They should have won. They missed four. Zane Gonzalez missed 4 kicks, and they ended up losing 21-18. Tyrod Taylor threw a bomb late in the fourth to Callaway to tie the game up at 18, but New Orleans drove down, made a play, won 21-18. Now, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this Cleveland's defense. They ranked first in league through the first 2 weeks in takeaways. Now, I know they're 0-1-1, but still, they're a highly improved football team. That defense is ranked 11th in the league right now. Eventually, they'll switch to Baker, but keep Tyrod in. They'll get their wins. They've got a Thursday night game coming up against the New York Jets, which I think they will win for sure. This is a different Cleveland team that I'm seeing. And as we all know, they released Josh Gordon a few days ago over controversy. who knows about the situation will all come out, but they're expected to trade him by later today or cut him. So if Cleveland can't handle him, I don't know what to do with Josh Gordon. But anyways, that's a different story for a different day. I'm saying Cleveland will be an improved team. Like I said before, they will win 6 games this year. They're on the up and coming. I see it coming. Now, with that said, those are my big games for the day. But also the fact that there's 6 2-0 teams, and then there's a lot of 1-1 teams as well too. You start 2-0, your chances to make the playoffs are highly elevated. You start 0-2, the chances of making the playoffs are less than 20%. With that said, it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend in the NFL. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Good start to the season, boys. Good start to the season. We've got a Monday night game coming up tonight too. So I'll give you my quick prediction. We've got Seattle going into Chicago, taking on the Bears in Soldier Field. Now, I know Russell Wilson's been running for his life, and Chicago's defense is elite, but I'm going to take Seattle 24-23. Russell Wilson will get it done. I know he'll be running around for his life, but I know the Bears got Khalil Mack, but I still don't see them winning because the problem for me is I don't trust Khalil Mack. Don't trust him, and Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback and will make the Hall of Fame. I don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. That's the problem. He's a dink and dunk player. He can only do so much. But the defense will carry them a little bit. But I'm going to say it's going to be 24-23 Chicago, and that will close out week 2. But I will be back next week for my takeaways for week 3. So with that said, you got any comments, questions, want to holler at me? You know where it is. Write me. Also, follow me on Twitter at Keeping the Score. That's Keeping the Score at Twitter. Thanks, guys. Holler at you.